This is the Great Legend, and I'm coming at you live tonight, fans, on the Great Legend Show. And tonight, we're talking about, we're not talking about diversity in comics, where my buddy Vincenzo C, he'll bring up some of the strife going on in the world of comic books, whether it be with some crazy SJWs or feminism kind of stuff going on, or some men being men, crossing swords, any of that kind of stuff. So we're not talking about diversity in comics like that. Whether we need to have more Chinese people in comics, and not just Chinese. We need more Chinese women in comics. We're not doing anything. We ain't doing any of that kind of stuff, and we ain't crossing no swords tonight, especially if you've played Oblivion, or is it Skyrim? I think it's Skyrim. None of those curved swords. He has a curved sword. No, we're not talking about that. But we're actually talking about tonight diversity in the comic book community. Diversity in the comic book community. But before we get too diverse, let's look at the diverse crowd we have in the chat room tonight, because if it's one thing you ought to know here on the Great Legend Show, the crowd, the fans, the friends, the family, it is one diverse community. And I love when I like to talk about the comic book community. All right, let's check the chat and see where it's at. Now I got to go on the download and on the rewind and take my time and go back to youtube.com/watch V equals big X, big A, little X, big H, Q, Y, L, O, M, I, or something like that, whatever the damn URL is. So we're going to check the chat. First up in the chat, we got the man of 1,000 nicknames. I'm talking Rebel Comics. Rebel Comics is here tonight. Rebel says, I just want you to know I'm tagging you in the top 20 covers videos going around. And that originally, I believe, was started by Seeking Near Mint Comics, aka SNMC of the, I always screw up the group name. I'm going to say the Near Mint 9.2 crew, because they ain't seeking. They got the Near Mint 9.2 crew. So Seeking Near Mint started that, and Rebel's going to make a video. I think he was tagged, I believe, by one of my favorite folks I like to watch, and I'm talking Catrin freaking Figures. So Larry's going to be working on that video tonight. I got my good brother here, Mr. Trilogy's Comic Corner, and I'm behind in my auctions. We're going to talk a little bit about auctions tonight, because our comic book community is a diverse community, and a lot of us have auction shows. We're going to talk about Trilogy here a little bit tonight. Trilogy, let us know in the chat on the side over here if you're going to have one of those auctions on Facebook coming up, man. I'd like to see what you got for sale. All right, and Larry's going to prepare, LP Rebel Comics going to prepare the video. We got SS Comic Reader, the phenomenal one, man. I do love AJ Styles, man. What a great freaking wrestler. He is the phenomenal one. Oh, yeah, we got a truth seeker. Maverick Freelance. Maverick effing Freelance. Now, these next two guys, Chad and Rich, man, I tell you what, man, they have for real, a legit freaking Batcave. If you've never seen reviews from the Batcave, I mean, the name is in the title. It's reviews from the Batcave, and they're in the Batcave as they give reviews. Although they've been going out fighting crime, representing their LCS, doing some reviews from there as well, which is pretty freaking. Who dat comics and movies? Who dat? I'm up early for you, brother. I'm here early because I knew who dat was watching. One of the not only comic book collectors, but also a good movie entrepreneur, and he loves to watch movies, and he does review movies. Gomez Comic Collector, Mr. Gomez, right now. Okay, let's see. It's going to be up this way, up in the corner. Click on your little looks like freaking Gorilla Grodd from my point of view. Click on that, click Creator Studio. Then when you bring Creator Studio up, go down the left, click on Community, because we are talking about community tonight. Then click on where it says Messages. Look for the message from the great legend. You're going to be one of the select few that has Great Legends freaking physical address, and you can send me everything you want to send. I won second place prize in Gomez Comic Collector's 100 subscriber contest. Dude, I don't enter a lot of contests, but I had to enter Gomez because me and him, we got a connection. Got a connection. So Gomez, is great to see you tonight, my friend. Mr. Gretzky 9966. Good, he's got his 20 covers to show. Okay, so Gretzky, after LP tags me, I'm going to tag you. And I don't know how many we got to tag, but we're going to be tagging up some people like Rembrandt's tagging New York Warriors freaking brick wall. Oh hell, look at this guy, the tennis player, old freaking Fedorov or Rusev or whoever. Brian Spaceboy 227. It's good to see Brian in here. Somebody call the ice cream, the lawnmower man. Trilogy says we need more Arabic people in comics. Hey man, you got Kamala Khan, Arabic, and she is in the comic books, man. And Lawnmower Man himself, Jason Smith. Jason, let us know if you got a job, brother. Little hiatus. Reviews from the Batcave, so I'm gonna be on a little hiatus to do some updating to the Batcave and the channel. Hopefully be back better than ever in late October. That's not bad. Take a little month off, get your stuff going down, keeping it real. That's what I like. Man, real quick, I got to send a quick, I normally don't do this during my show, but I'm going to type something while I talk. I'm going to let you know what I've been reading lately. I've already put them back on the shelf, so I guess I won't go too far into that, but I'm going to send a quick little message to a good friend of mine. All right, man. Sent that bad boy to my good friend there. One guy wanted to know when I was starting the show tonight. Let me close that off. Not Dut Rank. Dut Rank is not here right now. Who Dat Comics and Movies says, can't wait for our next Great Legend show auction. And speaking of great, and speaking of legend, and speaking of a man who's been on the auction block before, and I'm talking the host of All About Comics. I'm talking the man that could put a cross armbar on you legitly. The undisputed one. The undisputed chop. The undisputed beard. By the way, his beard is hot. Undisputed Frost is here tonight. Man, that's a good intro for Frosty. Reaper Tate, 728. My brother Reaper Tate is here. I'm glad to see Reaper in the chat. We got 15 watching. Leonard Hutchins. Always got the damn, who's that, Daryl? Daryl, ain't it? From Walking Dead. Got that crossbow. You know, it was cool. All About Comics has another creator coming this weekend. The right, if the comic book Plastic. The writer of the comic book Plastic, man. And Plastic's supposed to be a hot book. I've never read Plastic, but All About Comics had the artist. Was it the artist of Plastic? Frost, was it the artist of Plastic you had on there? I mean, it was a humongous show. Now, Frosty, I'm sorry I was out grilling some just lovely marinated, boneless chicken thighs, man. Oh, they're so freaking good. We got my bro Matt. My other bro Matt is here. Count Von Strange. Gretzky says he's going to show some hot variants. And Rebel's tagging people already. I don't even know if he's done his video, but he's tagging people like crazy. Inside joke between me, Brian, and Trilogy. Well, Jason, you got to let me in on that joke, too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Before I get into the diversity in the comic book community, and during this video, there's going to be a whole lot of shout outs. It ain't really a video about drama, it's just a video about, yes, there is diversity in the comic book community, and there's one word to describe that. If Adam was here, SAWFT, soft. No, the one word to describe diversity in our comic book community is freaking awesome. I know that's 2 words, but it's awesome because you get a little bit of everything. You know, it's like you're at a buffet at Golden Corral. Jason Smith, you always talking about eating some good food. You talk about that Golden Corral. You go in the buffet line and you got a damn selection from what, 12 to 9, or at whenever that damn place is open. But yeah, we're talking about diversity in the comic book community tonight. But first, since this would normally be, one of my great legend shows, and I hope I'm not stepping on anyone's toes because I know people love to go live. Let me tell you something about live. And I'm not just tooting my own horn because I ain't got a horn to toot, and I sure as hell ain't got a horn to blow. But I'm going to let you brothers and sisters know that the damn first live show on the YouTube comic book community. All right, well, some will say it was comic book podcast, comic book round table. But the first solo live show that made live shows famous in this comic book community is the Great Legend Show. I won back-to-back Comic Uno Geeky Award for the best live show 2 years in a row. And then I took the next year off. And then We Love Comics came onto the scene. And I tell you what, man, things got pretty shitty. I ain't gonna lie to you. No disrespect to that guy, but it was sucky because when I took that year and a half off, I maybe made like 15 videos, 20 videos for like 2014 to 2015, somewhere in there. And then a lot of the people that came onto the comic book scene, like my brother Rebel Comics, like my brother Simplify Comic Guy, like Lords of the Long Box, like Marty and Ray Jr. Shoot, they all got involved with WLC. And dude, that was like Moses parting the Red Sea. But it was WLC was parting the comic book community. But, and I know y'all may be some WLC fans out there, but there's always going to be differences of opinions in the comic book community. There's always going to be diversity in the comic book community. We look at our great nation of the United States of America, we have a lot of diversity in America. I get on Facebook. I know y'all like this. You like this Facebook rants. Well, if you're bitching about Facebook, why are you on Facebook? Well, I got to be a member of Facebook so I can have the Great Legend Show on Facebook. So I got to have a personal page on Facebook. So you see a lot of this diversity. You see a lot of people bitching and moaning about football players kneeling on Sunday's football games or this or that. And then you got our good President Trump, and he throws his opinions in there. And Trump says, these some bitches need to be fired because they're kneeling during the deal. Well, how many times do you tell your kids, Undisputed Frost, you and me, we got kids. Reaper Tate, got little Reaper. Brian Spaceboy, he's got some kids. Jason Smith, you got about 30 kids. How many times you tell them kids? I love getting Jason. But how many times you tell them kids not to do something, and then 10 seconds later, they damn doing it? Well, you got old Ronald Trump saying, don't, you do this, do that, then everyone's going to do it. So, little bit of idiots here, little bit of idiots there. But what I'm trying to say is that's kind of how it goes in the comic book community. You're always going to have some diversity in the comic book community. But before we get too diverse, let me check up on this chat. And we got everything going on in the chat. I mean, Jason Smith says, look for 650, Brian. Jason Smith already trying to sell stuff, and the freaking auction, Legends Live auction, isn't till October 7th, okay? Jason, jeez, calm down, brother. But I'm glad everyone is just having a good time doing some chatting. But you know, like I said, if I would have been back in the day in that WLC time, I could have steered some people into the right direction. But sadly, I wasn't there. But you live and learn, you know, you live and learn. And that's one other thing we're going to talk about tonight in diversity in the comic book community. But before we do all that, I want to let you know I don't have a lot to show you tonight on the Great Legend Show. And this is like one of my just topic videos anyway. So I'm not going to show you any new books, but I will show you what I'll tell you what I finished reading, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to start reading tonight, man. Who dat got me onto this? Well, I got myself into the video game first, Injustice Gods Among Us. Who dat told me about, dude, have you ever read like the comics about it? And he was preaching to me about the comics, and I was like, no, not really, but I dug the storyline, man. The storyline was freaking awesome. This one here is Injustice Gods Among Us, Year 5, Volume 3. It's the last one in the Year 5 hardcover, and this is the one that's supposed to take me on into the Justice Gods Among Us video game. Big shout out. Okay, Trilogy, I'm not going to forget that auction. I haven't got to that part of the video yet. Oh, it's Seeking Near Mint Comics. Yeah, SNMC. We got you some love about your 20 favorite covers. Any kind of favorite cover. So that is a tag that started with SNMC, Seeking Near Mint Comics, and it's going all through the community, and it's going to get to me pretty soon after Rebel makes his video. And then Mr. Gretzky, I'm gonna send you an invite to that. But anyways, man, what I got this book right here, man. Awesome. Oh my God, I read through these so quick, man. I got them all on the down low. I'm behind me back there on my bookshelf. I love this Injustice. Got a nice feel to all the covers. So after I read this one, I'm going to read this one here. This is the Injustice Ground Zero, Volume 1. This talks about her entire career as a criminal. Harley Quinn lived in the shadow of her beloved Joker, but when one joke went too far, drove Superman to kill, Harley found herself on her own for the first time. She teamed up with the heroes. And this is kind of the story this is Harley Quinn's story throughout the first video game. So this is kind of intertwined as the first video game goes along. So this one will come after this one. So I love these books though. They're all the same form factor and size. Um, they're freaking awesome. I can't say enough good stuff about it. So I need to find out. These all were released digitally, I believe. But I need to find out when Volume 2 of this comes out. You know, Volume 2, I guess Part 2, whatever you want to call it. And then I want to start getting the Injustice 2 comics in the same kind of hardcover books. Also, big shout out to one of the G1, the Generation 1 comic book collectors, Gene Paul, Ace. Going through some email. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But let's see what else. Sorry, guys, I'm at work, so just listen if I don't say hello. Yeah, man, Frosty's awesome. Hey, what is up, Vincenzo C? I gave you some love earlier, my fellow truth seeker, the guy. We were talking. I'm doing this video tonight about diversity in the comic book community, the YouTube comic book, or it could be any community, I guess, but primarily YouTube comic book community because I know most of y'all know me, so it's kind of our little thing. But Vincenzo C keeps us on the know of some of the creators, why they're doing certain books or why the big companies like Marvel and DC are being diverse in their own comic books. I need to get the Injustice 2 in the hardcovers. That's me too. Who that's the one that really said, Rob, you got to read these. And I started reading them, dude. I got so addicted to them. And there's so much Shazam goodness in these because if you didn't know, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, that asshole Superman killed my freaking favorite character. So that pissed me off. Real quick, I want to move it on into the diversity in the comic book community and talk a little bit how I got started in the comic book. I was making videos back in the day, and I went through, it was around 2011. I don't know, I have to check the date, but for me, it was pretty much 2011. I started, going through my comic book collection and just kind of getting interested in it again, and hadn't looked through my books in quite a while. And so I started doing a couple comic book videos, showing off new books, showing off some things that I'd picked up, and I got invited to be on a podcast. GPAP remembers this. He's probably the only one in the chat that remembers. Thing is so damn. It was 1849, Frost. Me and GPAP. But anyway, GPAP was in there, and I think GPAP was even on podcast a little as himself. Can't remember. There was so many people just all in the podcast. This was pre Google Hangouts, and y'all have heard this kind of crap before. And I don't mean to show my age or think I'm hot shit because I've been around a long time. I just kind of tell you the fun little stories. So we did that, and but all of us, then we went on, and Google Hangouts became a thing, and then we started doing Google Hangouts, and some people left, some people got mad at each other. There's always drama, or well, even in this book right here, there's this ascension among the ranks. I mean, Barry, pulled something over on Superman, and led Bruce Wayne to escape one time, and Superman got really pissed, and Superman, showing his meanness there. But so some people drift apart throughout the years. But a lot of times, what's great is, you both as human beings. I'll use well, I don't want to use any names because I don't want to make anyone comfortable. Frost will like this one. Frost loves these. But there was some dissension among the ranks. A lot of people talking about polybags and mylar, and then Frost. I can see Frost now. He's like, oh, here we go. But yeah. So that some people, didn't like mylar. Some people didn't like polybags. Yeah. So, but even those two guys, they became friends again, and found some respect for each other and kind of buried the hatchet. Or one guy may thumb down another guy's video, and you know, then they eventually become friends again. Just because mainly a lot of times it's misunderstandings that if those two parties could just take the time out and talk about it, they could save the friendship. And I don't want to mention these two names because these names are so powerful. But one of the things that happened with our Comic Talk podcast slash Comic Talk roundtable was two of the main ones back then in the comic book community just had some disagreements. And man, oh, they ruined a good thing. I don't want to say they ruined a good thing, but they ruined it. I don't know. But that was kind of what that was. But anyway, let me get to the good shit. So, anyways, diversity in the comic book community. So what I'm trying to say is we all come back together. And speaking of like diverse comic book community guys, we got a guy in here. Let me slap some Del Auto on this guy. We got Aim High Comics. Aim High, your room is looking great. You're doing a good paint job. And we got Puff Comics is here, man. And sometimes there's days where my back hurts so much I feel like a little Puff. But back to the diversity. So let's get into the one I'm talking about. So there's a lot of different collectors here in the comic book community. Some of us collect old back issues. Some of us collect new stuff. Some of us don't collect anything paper. They'll just buy like hardcovers. And if they don't do hardcovers, they'll just go to their library and try to get the book through an interlibrary loan program, or even just read them digital on their computer. So, you've got people that collect the single issues. A lot of us call them floppies. I think I first heard Frost say floppies. He likes to say floppies a lot. But also some of these are coming from Frost legit mouth. Some people collect trades, stuff like that. I learned that. Well, I didn't learn that. I already knew that, but Frost, reminded me because an old dude like myself needs to be reminded from time to time. Because quite honestly, I ain't got the best memory. I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. But we got Justin up in here, Exile State, one of the hottest beards you're ever gonna see in this comic book community. But yeah, I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, so a lot of times I forget things. But I thoroughly enjoy watching a lot of different kinds of videos here on YouTube when I'm not running my own mouth, and talking on here. But I'll do from time to time keep up with things that are going on in the comic book. Who Dat Comics and Movies, he says he collects Marvel Black superheroes. And that's great, man. That's freaking awesome. Those are great characters to collect because, and I can do a whole video on that. You got a Jewish Stan Lee and a Jewish Jack Kirby, and two guys that even in their younger years, Jack in the 40s and Stan was a really young guy in the 40s, but they got shat on. People made fun of them. People of ethnic backgrounds, who dat, you know, I, he can't tell me that he ain't ever been made fun of or called a bad word or a name or something like that. Same people that might be Asian or Hispanic or even me. I've gone into some pretty. I've done some things where I went through my church, handed out some materials, trying to invite the kids on the lower income side of town, try to invite the kids to vacation Bible school. Yeah, I've I've had somebody say, "What you doing here, honky?" Stuff like that. And yeah, so yeah, that you go over to the rough part of town, and if you're not used to stuff like that, it's kind of an eye opener. So stuff like that, it still goes on today. We all know that goes on today because it went on in Charlotte. So it's like Charlottesville. It's like all kind of crazy stuff going on, and it's sad to see. But Jack and Stan, they took a leap of faith, and they could see that times were changing. You had probably what would have been the greatest preacher of the 20th century, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Well, I don't know if he would have been the greatest, but he would have been in the top two. The main man, the first guy's got to be Billy Graham, but right under him are about equal Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As far as preachers. I mean, those were the guys. That was the Jack and Stan of the pulpit. Amen. But anyway, I don't want to get too biblical. I think it was the other night I had 15 viewers and I started reading the Bible verses and I dropped to 7 viewers. But hey, at least seven's a lucky number, right? But anyway, so a lot of diversity. People collect different characters. People collect floppies. Some people only collect big boy books, as me and Reaper call them. Some people only collect slabs. Some people only William Thorg, one of my truth seekers. God bless this guy. I love this guy. William Thorg. He for the longest time, he has over 1,000 issue number ones. Oh man, blows my mind every time. But he's a pretty sweet guy. Um, yeah. Aim High says he gets called Cracker quite a bit of times. Yeah. Puff Puff says Superman was basically created by a guy with low self-esteem. And that they got a movie of the guy that made Wonder Woman. He had him a wife and a little girl on his side, and they all had the three-way action. Man, it was like there's some crazy behind-the-scenes stories of how comics are. Man, really wild. But aren't we in the 21st century because we're in the 2000s? And the 20th century was the 1900s. Always get the numbers mixed up. My back's hurting, so I'm on some medicine right now. All right, so I want to read who that's because this kind of stuff's very important. I get people who don't know what race I am all the time. People always ask my wife, I didn't know you were married to a white man. You a white man, you just tan, who dat? All right, and we got Blackpool from the TBC, and damn it, it's hard for me to watch the TBC, the comic board on Tuesday mornings because I'm at work. And I always forget, and I'm so hard at work, so I got to watch that on the rewind. And today, Blackpool was making fun of JT, and we will talk a little bit about the TBC because the TBC is one of the different live shows I do like to tune into when I can. So I want to talk a little bit of, and I had notes, man. I always admire Reaper Tape because he writes the notes down, and I had some notes. I was taking some notes at work today because I wanted to kind of talk about this because I just had a kick-ass video a couple of nights ago called, I don't even remember what it was called. I already forgot what it was called, but I think it was called Your Holy Grail is in Your Reach or something like that. So yeah, it had a great message about how never give up on your dream holy grail. Don't give up on it. You keep pursuing it. Keep your eyes on the prize. The winners keep their eyes on the prize. The losers keep their eyes on the winners, and always keep that common goal. Keep that mindset. Keep that patience. Save the money. Play smart with your finances. Invest well. I know a guy in the chat. I don't want to say his name, so I don't want to I love Russ, but I don't want to give Russ too much love. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and give Russ some love. Russ is always on top of it. So he'll get books that are investment books, and then he'll hold on to the books, just like Seeking Near Mint was talking about today. You hold on to them. If you hold on to them in the long run, you wait 10 years. 10 years is actually really damn good if you can hold on to them long enough, because after that 10 years, I mean, you look at, and SNMC was giving it, preaching it today. If you wait at least 10 years on books, I mean, no doubt in my mind, I'm kind of the believer where I think books will eventually be digital. And that is that's a truth video for a different day because the government, well, I can't even go there. That's a Legends Truth video. We're going to talk about uh, how things in the future are going to relate to Fahrenheit 451, how they're going to burn data, how you can actually get legit knowledge from microfiche, whereas you look anything up on Google because you're spoiled, right? Yeah, how many times do you say, okay, you forget something, but you take about 30 minutes, and I know that may sound like a long time, but you take 30 minutes to yourself to close your eyes, invest in what got you here. Invest in what got you here, and what got you here was your brain. But no, we're so spoiled. We're going to go to that technology. We're going to type it up on Google because it's quicker, it's more efficient. We can get it done. We don't waste time. But how many times do we just close our eyes and think with our mind? Because, the computer and the power of the technology, that's gotten us spoiled. So that's something to think about. Next time you don't remember something, just close your eyes. And I cheat all the time too. I ain't gonna lie. I'll have some tabs open. I'll look on Google. Close your eyes and think about it and see if your mind can remember stuff. But like I said, back to microfiche, and this will be a future video. That stuff's still legit, but a lot of things that go on to the computer can be altered and will be altered for I can't go into the reasons, but Satan at work. Anyway, let's get back to the good stuff. All right, so let me talk a little bit about some of the people that I love to watch. Actually, let's not do that because I don't want to say, oh, just because I like this guy doesn't mean I like these kind of videos, because I'll watch all kind of videos. But I want to talk about different folks in the comic book community and diversity. We got a big shout out to Caddy King Gaming. And my chat just went up, so I didn't see what you said. All right, let me go to this one over here. The chat's really going by quick. We do got 20 watching. Caddy King, I got after a hard to find modern variants and low prints. Yeah, low print runs too, brother. Low print runs. Now, low print runs, it's hard, but you can go on to web forums and find out print runs of books. I know Oni Press printed, I don't think they printed too many Sixth Gun first prints. So Oni Press, if you're into Western, science fiction, Western type things, Sixth Gun would be excellent because a lot of those issues only ran about 3,000 issues. total, and that's not even variance. But big companies, if you want, like big companies, go after variants that are low print run. I mean, they may cost a little extra, but they're low print run, and low print run to a big company like Marvel and DC, that can mean something. There was a cover a lot of you folks in the chat bot, and Brandon, Cat Rin, um, Trinity got this cover. It was a Virgin cover. It was for the 25th anniversary of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Although I would have loved to see Batgirl on the cover as well, but you could get a great deal on these three covers, and they'd even throw in a comic frame by Bam. Bam would throw in a comic frame, and you can hang up this comic. Tons of people got that, and I think I read, now don't quote me on this, but I think it was a 3,000 print run, 1,500 for the black and white, which was really Perillo. Brandon, I knew you'd get it. I think the black and white, even though it wasn't black and white, it was more of like a sepia tone. Looked great if you were it looked like the perfect cover for like any old school Universal Classic Monster fan because they were on a shadowy tree. Very cool. And then there was the Virgin cover, and I think the Virgin cover was only, I want to say 1,000, and that's pretty damn good. And if you grade that book, and if it gets a 9.8, hell, regardless, I would get that pressed and clean. But if you graded that book, you're probably gonna make up. I don't know how much you'd make. I don't know how much those cost, but I can see that book going over into the three figures, no doubt. It's got to be more than $100. I think it was. I don't know, but you like if you wait a while, this stuff will go up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I should have showed you some books that I've went up in my collection, but this ain't an investing video. I do want to do an investing video because I found out that investing videos, Seek and Near Mint Comics did one today that was investing in some of the more modern, current day superheroes. And I find with that information, and if you hold them books, I say about 50% of them, probably more, will go up. A lot of comics, and like I said, a lot of comics are going to go up because one of these days it's all going to be digital. It's just we're running out of trees. We're running out of resources unless you start recycling. Cat Ren is here. Comically Flawed is here. Yeah, $20 I think with the frame. Aim High, was that for all three different covers? I mean, that's a pretty damn good deal and beautiful artwork. Big shout out to Big Bear Comics. Big Bear's in the house, man. Hell yeah. He said thanks Aim High for the great books because Big Bear bought some awesome books from Aim High Comics. And I'm sorry if I'm losing any of you. We got 22 watching. Let me refresh this page. I gotta see if I'm getting some thumbs up in here. Where's them thumbs up, baby? And y'all know you gotta get some thumbs up. I'm old, man. I'm not gonna be able to do this forever. Anyway, so there's a lot of different comic book collectors. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the different comic book collectors we currently have in our community. So, one of the biggest things in the community at the moment, and I'm going to go back in time, GPAP's going to know this, but it's those old school like Captain Cummings, Howler Mouse, Costin Bromstar, Hippies Collectibles, Oddfellow Thoughts, Doc and Howlett, GPAP when we could get him, Captain Strangelove when we can get him, because I'm pretty damn sure GPAP was on there a couple times. That was when GPAP never showed his face. Should have kept it that way. I was just kidding. But no, who was the other one? Doc and Howlett. I mentioned Doc and Howlett. Myself, and Chris Ventura, actually, from Comic Frontline. Well, we had that thing going on. I mean, that was your Gen 1, man. And there was a lot more in Generation 1, but that was the big time. That was an excellent time to be a part of the comic book community. It was a lot smaller. It was more intimate or whatnot, but it's really cool that it has grown. Although with growth, you're gonna get some people that you don't want them in there. But like I said, it's a diverse community, and you just kind of have to live with it. I've had a lot of time, and I've been through a lot of crap in the comic book community before. But the thing is, you got to keep your eyes on the prize and not worry about the people behind you and what they're doing. Don't look in the rear view mirror. You got to look, out the front windshield. You got to look at your journey and look at yourself, and do the best you can. And what I feel about in our comic book community, I think everyone does a great job in their own way as far as doing that. And I also think, what I love about the comic book community is these people are taking time out of their days to make videos to teach others, special ways that they too can collect comic books, which is really freaking cool. Trilogy loves him some Captain Cummings. Captain Cummings is hit or miss for me. And Captain Cummings has went on and he's kind of, advanced on. And what was great about Phil, what was excellent about Captain Cummings was he kept his eyes on the prize. Captain Cummings has always wanted to be the best that he can be, and that was through getting the numbers and growing his channel. know? Oh my God, Midwest 2, I almost forgot to give a shout out to one of my best buds from the Blasted crew. Midwest Comic Man, Paul is up in the house. But Captain Cummings, he said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to leave the drama alone. Now, I may cause some drama, by the stuff I say, but I'm going to move forward. And if people are either going to be with me or against me, I get that, but I'm going to do my thing. And he's done his thing, and he's been very successful at it. But so good for old Phil there. But so yeah, and then Chris, Dark Avenger, he went on to create Comic Book Frontline. Actually, he did Dark Avenger Inc. then Comic Book Frontline, which is kind of like a big media deal all itself. So, me and you, if we ever meet, we're gonna be slapping each other. Hopefully on the butt, not the face. I'm talking Alex the Comic Hoarders here. One of my brothers, one of the best brothers you're ever gonna meet in this community. But yeah, and then Chris went on to do Comic Frontline. Howler Mouse did his thing. Costin Bromstar's doing a yearly vlog where he's doing vlogs every day, so it's not all the way about comics with Costin Bromstar. Hippies Collectibles has kind of stepped back a little bit because you know, he's getting his body healthy. He's getting his body stronger to where he can do more videos. What else? What else is the G1 up to? Oddfellows Thoughts. He still does his comic book roundtable. I don't really watch him very much anymore. It's just nothing against him. We just don't. We ain't falling out. You know what I'm saying? Everyone ain't down with everybody. But see if I'm missing anyone out. And GPAP does his videos, taking some time to do stuff around the house because he don't get a lot of warm months to do stuff. Mainly, he's frozen in the tundra. But a lot of the G1 folks, Doc and Howlett, he's actually doing more videos now, which is great to see. So, people drift apart and things change. You may have old Michael Scott leaving the office, and then you got old Andy running the show, or you have stuff like that. So, but what happens is also in that a lot of us old fogies can kind of take a step back and check out all of these new comic book channels that are out there in the YouTube comic book community, and they're so diverse. I want to talk to you real quick about the live shows. A lot of times there's a lot of different live shows in the comic book community. And I want to talk about some of the favorite ones I like to tune into. First and foremost, I got to go. Okay, well, since the ones back in the day I was a part of, they're all done. But I got to go with the hottest show on. They just moved to Saturday night. And I'm talking Blast It or Stash It. Freaking underrated, awesome show. Now, I used to be a part of that show, and I had some of the best freaking times with those guys, man. Talking comics and stuff like that. I had to teach. I had to teach old Huey and Mike and Trinity. I had to teach those guys something, man. I had to teach them the ways of the legend, man, and give them that knowledge. And then Paul had to teach me stuff. Paul had to reel my ass back in quite a few times because his ass is the one with the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Paul in the house, man. Paul, I'm going to go on. We're going to talk about him here in a little while because he's part of my golden age goodness. But Blaster Stash it. If you don't know the show, they're excellent. Alex the Comic Hoarder has guest starred on the show. Those blasted guys, nobody watches them. But Alex was on the show before. Reviews from the Batcave's been on the show before. Johnny DaCosta. I don't know if old JD's up in here, but Johnny's G2. Johnny was around Generation 2, man. But yeah, I love me some Johnny DaCosta. But all of those guys. Let me tell you about another live show, man. I used to like the All About Comics. Didn't catch it very much because I was either watching wrestling or on the grill, but when I could, I'd watch them a lot of times. And that was Undisputed Frost, Merc with a Mouth, Joe, Comic Fan, Four Way Flashers, Merc with a Mouth, and Undisputed Frost. Now it's kind of a one-man show because all those other guys, they got to do their thing. And that's what it's all about. You got to diversify. You don't want to stay in the damn Beatles for all your life. You got to go out and become your own Ringo Starr, you know? You got to go out and do your own thing. So, that band kind of broke up, but All About Comics lives on today through Undisputed Frost, and he's done where he's going to get special guests like every week, which is really freaking cool. I like that, man. That's pretty cool because it's always something new, always something fresh. Next up, I'm talking Biggie's in that damn horn. The New York Warriors, man. I can't even name all them dudes. Easy E, Game Hunter, the Mayor Jeff Johnson, Marky 316, Manny, Manny Pacquiao, Manny NYC, Biggie's Comics in there, Enrique. Wait, damn, the artist guy, Eddie the comic guy. That's his name. I can't remember all the names. They're a lot of fun to watch. So definitely watch you some New York Warriors. That's another great live show to watch. And the other one that's really turning me on when I can catch them is Doom 143, SNMC, Alex the Comic Order, Master Splinter, and thank God Freddy's has a new profile picture, not that big ass going up the stairs, which was just disgusting. That's why I didn't watch that show that much. I didn't like looking at that big, humongous ass going up those stupid stairs. Oh, it's disgusting. I don't even know. That could be Freddy's big ass. I don't know. But I do watch Alex and the Near Mint 9.2 crew. They had a good video the other day about variant comics. So a lot of different live shows. Comic Frontline I don't catch as much. Um, they're a great show. No disrespect, but there's just so many shows I can't watch them all. But I do watch on occasion. So I love the group live shows. I do love a good group live show. I told Brian Spaceboy one of these days. I told Brian Jason Smith, if Jason Smith can get a better microphone, we're gonna try to get our boy Hippies Collectibles live. Cause I miss. Oh, wait a minute. There's more live shows. Holy shit, I almost forgot. Oh, Justin, I'm sorry, brother. Don't smack me. Don't shoot me with no green arrows, you Oliver Queen looking son of a gun. But no, JLS Comics with Edwin from Strictly Comics, Justin Exile State, Boston Chris, and Jesse JLS himself. That is one of the best shows. I love watching that show. Usually, hell, I hope it's not on tonight. I hope I'm not messing around. Another live show, the TBC on Tuesday mornings. Like I said, they're one of a kind. It's just a really good show. Black Pole and JT, two of my favorites, really good guys. Last live show I want to talk about is a group live show. is Key Issue Comics. He doesn't do a lot of shows anymore. Primarily, I think they run out of stuff to talk about, and basically they just keep it on the download. They keep it chill. They do a lot of off airs, and I can't make the off airs much anymore. I'm getting too damn old. I can't stay up that late anymore. But I love watching Chaz, Kyushu Comics, Captain Cold Comics. Evan Jalone comes in there from time to time. Uncanny Kyle Waka is always in there as well. Steve Boyu is always in there, the artist of Niobe issues 2, 3, and 4. LP sometimes, if he can get his ass in there, we can get him off the video games and he get in there. He's in there, and Undisputed Frost is in there as well. And it's so freaking cool. Brian Spaceboy says, "Wait till me and Jason start out on the show. It's gonna blow up." So those are some of the live shows I kind of have done and like doing over the years. Oh, and another one that's good that I don't catch a lot because he's a busy man is Jose from Comics and Stuff. But I do see Jose Gomez and Exile State on that show as well. And one of these days, brothers, I will be on that show for a little special appearance. Blaster or stash it? Paul, you let those other guys know. The legend. You let me know when you need a special guest, and I'll get on Blast It or Stash It. Not no full time guest or any of that kind of crap like that, but it'd be my honor to come back for a couple of one shots. And Simplify Comic Guy, get his ass on that show. Let him know, man. I talked to old Vince. I said, Vince, one of these days, me and Vince need to get back on Blast It. Not every damn week, for a special appearance. Get the band back together, because our good brother Trilogy's doing God's work at the moment. I'm not going to get too much all into that and stuff, but let y'all know he's doing God's work, and he's keeping busy with his mission for the Lord. But let's see. Yeah, Rob, I can't make them all the time since I'm at 5:30 a.m., but that's all right. Kingdom Comics. Tito's in the house. It's good to see Tito here. But yeah, so what's cool is the diversity in the comic. So you have all these different live shows, and they're a lot of freaking fun. And sometimes it's just fun to cut up with your friends and talk about comics and all the cool stuff you're into. So just keeping it real, that's what it's all about. So very freaking cool. So those are some of the live shows I've mentioned. Those are a lot of freaking fun. Oh, another. Okay, let's talk real quick. Since we're talking the group stuff, let's talk about group live shows. No, group. Well, damn it. I don't know. Let's just talk about auction shows. Cat Wren wants to talk about auctions. So I'm going to try to go over as many of the auction shows I can remember. Of course, the first auction, I'm going to give the man a shout out. The first auction, silent auction, was We Love Comics. Now, I know some of y'all don't love We Love Comics. Maybe We Love Comics a little bit. And I'm just cutting up with that guy. Very popular channel. He has a great following. But yeah, so he started it, and then I don't know, it all just kind of fell apart. He got tired of doing it, so Blaster Stash It inherited doing the auctions. They went a little while, and then somehow I inherited some live auctions and went a little while, and it went a little while and went a little while, and it actually is pretty successful, man. I always start my books cheap because I'm just trying to get rid of stuff, and it's not all about monetary value or making money. I mean, now sure, if I'm selling, I watched Seeking's video. If I'm selling Saga 9.8 near mint/mint signed by Vaughn and Staples, the incentive cover. Yeah, I'm starting it at $2,000. I'm not starting it at $1 with free shipping. I love you guys, but man, got to pay the bills. But no, like on most of the stuff I sell, I usually sell at $1. No big deal. Another live auction I really enjoy. Okay, Legends Live Auction. It's good. But one I really like to watch is Edwin, Strictly Comics. Oh man, it reminds me of like the Facebook auctions, but like but the thing that Edwin does so well And what makes it so successful, and all right, first off, he works his ass off doing these things. He's on Instagram, almost to the point where it's like, damn, Edwin, you're spamming my freaking Instagram feed, brother. But anyway, so he's talking about all the stuff that he's showing, man. So it's pretty cool. And what he'll do is he'll run, he'll put them on not Facebook, but God, this medicine's already kicking. But he's putting them on the auction, and it's a successful auction. ETA Nick, when Big Bear watched ETA Nick that day and before that one show, this was all like off the cuff because Big Bear tried to get a hold of me, but I was sleeping that Sunday. I like to take a pretty long nap or whatever day, Saturday, whenever we have the auction. I like to relax a little bit because with this new format, it can go up to 3 hours. And a lot of times I'm just talking like an auctioneer. But what I like about it is ETA Nick, awesome format, so he does the whole Edwin style format where the bids are in the chat and everyone else likes the bids in the chat. So that's what we started doing. And Big Bear Comics, he started on the old We Love Comics auction show, but he enjoys Legends Live auction much more. I think it's fun because Big Bear a lot of times, and I'm just telling. I'm not being a dick to We Love Comics. I'm just saying, like, a lot of times he kept pointing out the flaws of books, right? And here we are, we sellers, we're trying to sell the books, bro. Don't point at every single flaw. You're gonna make my bids go down. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty crappy. But so ETA Nick, another awesome auction, and it's a solo auction. Jose from Comics and Stuff, like I said, he's a busy man, but he plans to have a solo auction. Doom 143 and Seeking Near Mint, they're both in Hawaii. I think they're going to be doing, hopefully, their own auction pretty soon. Trilogy's Comic Corner is still doing the Facebook auctions, which is pretty cool, and he's going to be running those out of his local comic shop. So be on the lookout. Trilogies Comic. Oh wait, Facebook.com/Trilogies CC. That's that one. What I would love to see on Doom 143 and Seeking Near Man, I don't know if they've had their auction show yet, but get as many. Well, you may want to start out low, but it's always good if you have a variety of sellers, because that way you can sell a lot of books and you can keep everyone entertained as well. So that'd be free. What else is going on? Let me check the chat a little bit here real quick. ETA Nick is awesome. Hey, L Comic Box, thank you so much, brother. I'm glad you love those auctions. Cat Wren just bought a Batman triple signed from Strictly Comics. Amazing Murphinator, man. Murph, I love when Murph pulls out them Fantastic Fours. Now I see Murph, I see you every now and then whipping out them Fantastic Fours and a lot of them awesome Silver Ages, taking me back in time. And you know what? I saw a video with Tito, Kingdom Comics, and Tito does have one of the best looking beards. Well, he did have one of the best looking. You're gonna have to check his channel and see what he looks like now. He's starting the beard over. And I'm with you, man. When I shave my beard, I look like a little kid again. All right, what else we got going? I can't remember, Brandon. Who did you sell the one? I don't even know if you sold it, but you offered that thing for 50. That was a 9.8 candidate. It was the Batman Killing Joke. Let me know if you sold that thing. Not that I'm going to buy that thing, because I really I didn't read the comic, and I don't want to read that one. Of course, I'd probably grade it, but I didn't like the animated movie. I didn't like the storyline. I like the storyline. Comically Flawed. Me and Comically Flawed and LP used to do a group live show about wrestling, and it was a lot of fun. And then I don't know what happened. I think we got sold to AOL Time Warner because it was like WCW. Then all of a sudden, Frost's WWE here, and now Frost put Larry out of business, and then we don't have a wrestling show anymore. And me and Adam, Comically Flawed, and Mike from the Unboxing Brothers. Damn, that was a fun show. And Uncanny Kyle Walker when his ass freaking showed up. We had a lot of good fun. Let's see. Not taking I like your style. where it's a blind auction. Oh yeah, he likes that blind auction from the seller side. I think you make more money on the blind auction, in my opinion. So Doom, you might want to try the blind auction then, if you think that one's more money. Because I'm eager to see how Doom runs it. And I don't know, it's so hard to tell, man. It's like sometimes where the bids are in the chat, that's the way to do it. I don't know, man. So I miss WCW too. Uncanny can't grow a beard. 60 with some other stuff. Okay, yeah, that's right. That was good, man. Someone got a great deal on that, man. That was a great freaking deal. I'm trying to go up to see if I missed anything. Like your style where it's a auction. Yeah, Doom. We started doing one where it was a live auction, or we did the bids in the chat. Problem was, man, it was like some last auction, Jason, you can attest, no one was buying Brian, no one was buying them Wolverines from Jason. But no, it was good though. It's real good. I sold all of my items, but I actually lost money because my shipping was more. But that was okay. Whatever gives y'all some good fun deals. But okay, so that's some of the auctions. So remember comics and stuff, um, Doom and Seeking when they get their auction going. It would be nice if they did the near mint 9.2 auction. That's a good name for it. Edwin, of course, and Edwin had Justin Exile State on, which is cool. So that's kind of could be like the JLS auction. Of course, Legends Lab auction, ETA Nick's auction, and on Facebook.com, Trilogy's auction, and Murph, Amazing Murphinator said O'Brien, that O'Brien guy. And there's deal makers. There's all kind of Facebook auctions. I don't know how many times Trilogy is selling or sharing these auctions. So next up, let's talk solo live shows. All right, solo live shows, this show here is good, if y'all like this show. This show is not just like a solo comic show, so it may not be everyone's cup of tea. I'm doing kind of a comic topic tonight, but a lot of times it could be like Legends Truth. I might talk something far out or some trippy ass stuff with Mandela effect, or I'll preach the gospel. I'll do whatever, that I feel like I'm getting, usually the Holy Spirit's giving me messages on the truth stuff. So, um, I used to do a lot of cooking, and oh my God, I sent Reaper Tate a freaking image. I got a big boy book. Well, it wasn't a big boy book, it was a big boy purchase. A freaking oven, Whirlpool, stainless steel. My old oven broke, so that was freaking cool. So proud to have that in my collection. No, but yeah, I love Whirlpool products, stainless steel, and it has the glass ceramic top where it's not the coils where the food and crap get in there. So that is freaking awesome. Um, anyway, whatever I was saying. So I do, and I usually will do cooking and I'll do some video games. So I do a little bit of everything. But my thing is, I don't want to classify myself as a comic book channel. I just want to classify myself as the Great Legend Show. Like what you see is what you get. I can show you my Injustice, my hardcovers and stuff like that. But I don't want you to watch me for like comic books. I want you to watch me for the person that's sitting in front of the camera. I think that's really important, and I will talk about that here in a little bit as well. And so another solo live shows, you got to go with ETA Nick. Oh man, epic solo live shows right there, man. ETA Nick, some of the best. Now, I don't really watch ETA Nick do spec videos about speculation of books because I'm out of the loop, man. I'm so out of the loop, and as far as specking on books, I might take some of the information about researching on GPA. I know Edwin from Strictly Comics researches on the grade point analysis. So yeah, I will do that because I want to try to get the best deals. John Ryan, the boss in the house, four-way flashers. All About Comics is the new best solo show. Oh, that's a dig at Undisputed. Oh, SS. I'm getting to that guy. I'm getting that guy. And Catrin says she watches the show for the beard. I do love beards. I mean, I love a man with a beard. I love a woman with a beard. I diversify. I like women with beards. Yeah, baby. But yeah, oh, that's it. Murph. Amen, brother. The live shows that Nick does, or even the ones he doesn't do, I love when he grades the books, and I could throw him in another category as well about people that grade their books. I know Edwin. I think Edwin grades his own books. I grade my own books, but I'm always lenient. I always grade I grade harder on myself because I'm not a professional grader. So I want to have some leeway in there. And if something comes back a 7.0 or a 7.5 or some weird crazy number, and I use those for examples because I like sending some golden age in just to see what happens. Then yeah, that's cool. That's great. But Nick is amazing. A lot of great live shows. His auction is a lot of fun. I try to catch it. It's hard to catch sometime. The grading videos, I love the grading videos. I don't watch much of the spec stuff because spec stuff is spec stuff. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It may go up, it may go down. You just really never know, and it truly is like the stock market, like Seeking Airmint was talking about today. It's like the damn stock market. Um, Another solo live show. I wish he would do these a lot more. Don the Icon, comic book junkie. Usually it was during a great time. I don't remember if it was after Blasted or Stash It or if it was on Saturday night, man. But Don, the Icon, excellent live show. Mark BKR, got to give Mark some love because he's been sick lately. Cat should grow a beard even though she can't. That's epic. But I grade my own a 10 every time, regardless of finger smudges. John Ryan says. Damn, wouldn't we like to work at CGC? We could grade all of our stuff at 10, right? Mav, you're so random. Maverick says random, I know, but someone tried to convince the neighbor was regularly hacking their cable TV, their house phone via the internet. That's funny. That's old school. But Don the Icon, another great solo live show. Trying to think of other solo live shows. I want to say Howler Mouse has done them before. And Howler Mouse, just one of the best channels, period. But solo live shows. Cat Wren, I'm going to say solo live show. Everyone was using the internet that night, but it was an excellent live show. She had Mark there. Um, but yes, man, I'm losing my train of thought. I knew I should have wrote all these names down. So you got a lot of different live shows. You got live auctions. You got live group shows, and sometimes you got like hangouts where folks are on there just having a good time, which are always fun, Or if you get those weird combos, like you get a Charlton 6-6, and you have Howler Mouse in the background, or if you get a Sleepy Reader Damien 666 and you have the Long Box podcast on there, where you get those, or you have a John DaCosta going to the Warehouse of Love, and you get to see Costin Bromstar with Johnny DaCosta, or Gimpy 204 going down to Chicago to see Hans, Captain Strangelove. Man, that's some good stuff, man. Now those aren't all the way always live, but that's when you have good group stuff. I remember one of the funnest times was at the Fan Expo, and I don't think we really did any videos. We just kind of took some pictures. But I remember meeting. I didn't get to meet. I know Kingdom Comics was there, and I know SS Comic Reader was there, and Edwin was there too. Damn it, I didn't get to meet freaking Edwin either, which freaking sucks. But I got to meet Trilogy's Comic Corner. I got to meet Trinity, and I got to meet Brandon, Aim High Comics, and man, that was a lot of freaking fun. So hopefully, if we can do that, I'm not going to go to this next one, Fan Days. I don't like the venue, back trouble, horrible parking, um, bad bad muscular problems. I ain't going to that one, but I really enjoyed that one at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Center. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. So that's kind of some diversity. Now let's talk about not only, and that's just kind of like channels, right? So, like I said in the Holy Grails. You collect your Holy Grail because one, you like the character. You collect your Holy Grail because you like the artwork. You collect your Holy Grail because you like the story. You collect the Holy Grail because there's some historical significance. If we could take all of those things from my previous video about Holy Grails, we can equate those things into the diversity in the comic book community. Do you like the person because they have historic significance? You look at Hippies Collectibles, Hans Strangelove, Dr. Von Chilla, ETA Nick, and I'm being kind of mean on ETA Nick because he's probably only 10 years older than I am. Um, Possibly, yeah, Von Chilla maybe a little older as well. Murph, Murph about maybe, I want to say Murph's about 10 years older. I don't know. But I like watching the guys that have some historical significance. I'm not saying I like watching the old asses. Doc Silverage, aka Rod, but I like watching Gimpy 204. He's got about 10 on me, I want to say. Howler Mouse. He doesn't have very many years on me, but he acts like an old man, and I love him. um, Stuff like that. You watch like channels for historical significance. Well, I love and Comic Crypt from Castle Hills. I always see, and there's so many to name. I don't even watch them religiously like I should, but like I said, it's hard to watch everybody. But I like the older guys because they remind me, one, I can kind of see their collecting habits, and then I can see my own father, you know, uh, him growing up through the years that these gentlemen grew up in the years. And it's so cool to think about because I can think back to stories my dad has told me, and these men are telling me the same stories. And you can't get that from anywhere else. I mean, YouTube, okay. So a lot of times when I wanted to hear old people talk, I'd go Sundays and have, after church lunch with my grandmother. My granddad's brothers came over. One was always telling tall tales, probably like Jason. Jason, I'm picking on Jason. But tell us some crazy ass story. And then you'd have one of my uncles, well, my dad's uncle. He was a judge in the town I live in, a real prominent judge back in the day. And he would roll his eyes. And then my granddad, they all had different art. One guy was a military guy all the way from the Navy. One guy moved out to California with the fruits and nuts. I'm not saying he was a fruit or a nut, but he moved out there because he fell in love and he went out there and wanted to experience life, so he went out there. And then one of them was a judge, of course. One of them was my Uncle Russell, my dad's uncle. And he was kind of like our Sanford and Son. I see Who Dat every time I see that damn avatar of Who Dat Red Fox. I think of my Uncle Russell. But my granddad, lifelong produce guy, always did produce, had his own produce business, had his own farmland. Used to go down to the Dallas Farmers Market early in the morning, drop off his goods there, then come back and work the Dowdy Brothers Produce. So just a lot of history from when I used to sit in the presence of those five gentlemen, and you just take it all in. And what's great about the YouTube comic book community, the topic being like comics and stuff like that. And I'm sorry I keep showing Injustice. It's not even a floppy, but it's a damn good story and great artwork. But what I'm saying is, you just absorb so much knowledge, even from like a guy that's really not that old, Howler Mouse, just absorb so much knowledge from these guys and see where they've been in life and see where they continue to go in life, because once you get older, um, you don't just like sit on your ass. You want to keep progressing throughout the life because you're not at the finish line yet. You're not at the finish line. You keep on going to the finish line. So I like watching the guys that have some historical significance to me. Okay. Um, Another one I like to watch now, just dropping some knowledge and some topic videos real quick. And I know I'm going to be forgetting a lot of people, but I want knowledge. I really like learning knowledge, and it's hard because I know about characters, and it's not per se I want to know like the name of Nova. I think I forgot his name. It was Richard Rider, and Sam Alexander. I was looking that up today because I'd read about the Teenage Nova for like maybe the first 3 issues. Pretty good. Uh, I didn't really collect it. I read it digital. This is a pretty good story. And so I was reading about Nova, but it's not like I want to look at videos for that kind of knowledge, but I want to know knowledge about why a person collects, why a person like Who Dat Comics reads Injustice, why Mr. Gretzky loves Archie so much. What the hell? Count Von Strange says Dick Rider. I don't know that character, brother. Lady Bear's here. God bless all vets. I love reading Lady Bear's Murph. Best porn name ever. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. But Lady Bear always has some great knowledge. She delivers that knowledge on Facebook.com in my feed. It's one things that I actually do like reading about. Go back in time. I got to give TiVo and old King of the Golden State, Marky 316, and that Dark Jedi. Even though I'm not subscribed to the Dark Jedi, but they got a good show on Lords of the Long Box. That's another excellent live show. A lot of good topics on that show. And I'm sure there's very many more live shows I just haven't talked about. But for me, I love learning something. So with the old guys, I can learn stuff. Now, the other guys I want to talk about are not so old, but I learn a lot. I learned a hell of a lot about grading from Cougar Comics, even more so from Nick. I learned a lot from Nick, but Cougar, I want to say even before EATA Nick started doing these grading videos, I was watching Cougar Comics do grading videos. But they probably did them at the same time. I just don't know. I love watching Cougar Comics. I love watching ETA Nick do their grading videos because they teach me some of the ins and outs of the grade trade, if you will. Reaper Tate 728, he's in the chat room right now. What I love about watching his videos is he has a lot of nice books, a lot of big boy books. But not only that, I mean, he's like, to me, he's kind of like an Alex the Comic Core. He just has a lot of books. Actually, Don has a lot of books. So there's those guys that just have a lot of stuff. But what I like is I like learning why they got the book, where they were when they got the book. And that's what makes Reaper Tate so close to a Howler Mouse or to a Captain Strangelove as far as like some of my favorite kind of folks that I like to watch. Because I don't know, it's like better than TV. I don't know what it is. You know how they always say reality TV sells? Well, reality YouTube comic book community sells too. And those are some damn good freaking channels. Rod, Dr. Silver Age, I've heard some great stories from Rod. Um, Von Chill, all the elderly veterans I mentioned. I've learned a lot about them, just getting the stories and how all of it was back in the day when they were collecting as kids. I love those stories. There was so much heart and soul into those. They're great. I need to do more of those. Um, but I love those kind of channels where I learn something about how others got into the comic book community. Not comic book community, but comic book collecting. I'm also a big fan of reading biographies, so I like reading biographies about people as well. Um, there is some creepy guys like Count Von Strange. Um, that's not anything to be mean about, but I like watching when he talks about horror stuff. Um, Young kid named Jam Freak Show. He don't come around very much, but he likes horror. Um, oh man, Alex, you know this guy. We know this guy. Who's that guy? He's got a shaved head and he makes little horror short films. Damn, he's got a good channel. A lot of horror. What is that guy with the shaved head? Got them horror videos. It'll come up to me in the chat, man. I don't give him a lot of shout outs, but I like that dude's videos. They're pretty damn good. And like I said, I don't comment on everyone's videos either because it's hard to comment on a lot of people's videos. Anyone know that guy? Guy likes them horror? Y'all let me know if y'all remember it. But anyway, I'll move on. I'll keep my eyes on the chat prize. But what I also like is Golden Car. No, Bluntzilla. Four-way got it. Bluntzilla, man. And Golden Car, welcome to the show, man. It's good to see the GCC in the house. Huge Funko Pop, huge Spider-Man collector, huge collector of everything. Needs to get that Xbox One though, so he can get beat in Injustice 2. But yeah, Bluntzilla, man. Good horror stuff. Funkos, a lot of Funkos to go around, and a lot of action figures. You got Spider Grandpa. Cat Ren has one of the biggest action figure collections. Um, Matt, where are you, Von Strange? One of the best action figures. I got a lot of action figures. My action figures are mainly the sideshow toys, and I'm not talking the collectibles, the big ones. Warzone Spider. Oh, I'm going to talk about him because he's had a sweet holy grail. But Claude Rains is the Invisible Man. Elsa Lancaster's Bride of Frankenstein. I have tons of Papa action figures. I have tons of chess pieces. There's all kinds of cool, different stuff that people collect. Um, so action figures, that's another big one. And I know a lot of you have action figures as well. Mass Marvel, big shout out to Mass Marvel. The reason I've got Wiz Comics #2, and I think I already put that book away. I hope I did. Don't want to leave that one out. But Mass Marvel told me about that book. I think it was SS or Gomez that told me about the Phantom Stranger, the Golden Age Phantom Stranger. I got one of those coming on the way. Finally, it's on my 2017 list. That's one of them scarce books I talked to Paul, Midwest Comic Man, about. But I love chatting with old Reaper Tate and some of those folks. Semper Fi. Well, we need to get more Semper Fi in here. Semper Fi, he's a good guy to this community. Yeah, that is pretty creepy, Count. You're 30 and shopping at Toys R Us. I put a mask on and it go in there, bro. Yeah, man. Oh, trilogy. Being a Toys R Us kid. Ah. Ugh. But anyway, a lot of diversity in the comic book. I wish there was more ladies in the comic book community. I'm not one of those kind of horny dudes that just love the ladies, you know what I'm saying? But I'll watch me some Cat Ren, and on occasion I'll watch me some Cammy. Good Wonder Woman fan, Reader 1717. I used to watch a lot of a Comic Mom, aka Audrey. I used to watch Comic Uno quite a bit. A lot of times, let me tell you about some other comic collectors that are good to watch. It's just the ones that review the books. And I want to go talk a little bit about Cat Ren. Cat Ren does book reviews, which are really good. I don't see a lot of book reviews anymore, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I love hearing other people's interpretations on book reviews. Like I said, Blast It or Stash It on Friday nights, TBC on Tuesday mornings, JLS crew on Wednesday evenings. They have some good, I don't know if that's the right deal, but they have some good chats about what's out and stuff like that. Roger69501, God bless this brother, living in Puerto Rico with some hard times, but he has some excellent DC comic reviews, but I don't watch him, and I hope he knows I still love him, but I can't watch that stuff because I don't want to ruin the spoilers for me. So that's some of the ones I like watching as well. Gaming, I do tune into Rebel Gaming from time to time, as well my brother Dut Rank, Jose, comics and stuff. Anyone that has like video games and does YouTube at the same time, I'll try to watch them just because it's fun and it's different. It's not just comic books all the time. Now I want to talk about some comic books, man. Let's talk about just going to see some stuff to some big ass books. I do like watching people that show big books. Warzone Spider, I'm always happy when someone gets their grail. Warzone Spider, a big fan of the Daredevil books. He already had the Elektra. He had the first Daredevil in the red suit. So, got his Daredevil #1, man. Daredevil freaking #1. What a freaking awesome book. Awesome book. And Warzone Spider got that book. So good job, Warzone Spider. I like watching guys. Comicaholics. I may have seen Comicaholics 4-way. I'm not sure. There's, like I said, there's so many different people that I've watched. Now I want to talk a little bit about some Golden Age. So, Hans, you got Hans. Captain Strangelove, Hippies Collectibles. You got Reaper Tate. A lot of them have some Golden Age. But some of my favorite people to chat about with Golden Age comics, of course, Reaper Tate, but Evan Jalone is, I love chatting with Evan about Golden Age. I love chatting about Paul, Midwest Comic Man, about Golden Age, and I love chatting about Golden Age with Alex, the Comic Hoarder. Alex, I've just kind of started, we started talking a little bit about Golden Age. And Alex has been picking up Golden Age books, and he's picking them up at the right time. A lot of Fawcett publications Alex has been picking up. And I don't want to give away Alex's secret because I don't want everyone to go out and buy all the Fawcett's. But they're great, fun stories. They're so much fun. And like I said in the Grail video, a lot of those books outsold Action and Superman and Detective and Batman and Captain America comics because kids could relate with characters like Bill. I almost said Billy Madison, but people can relate with Billy Batson. So excellent stuff. Silver Age books. I have a lot of love on the Silver Age scene. There's a guy, Solid State 4 Bend. I love watching his videos. Always has some good silver and bronze. Um, Mr. White Gloves from Splash Page Comics. Another guy that has a lot of great Silver and Bronze Age books. I really like looking at Silver Age and Bronze Age books. I'm rusty as hell on modern books. So for moderns, I usually watch all, I'll just try to find out what's good. Usually Brandon is good. Trinity is good on telling me some books to look out for. Alex as well. And I usually get most of that news off of Blasted or Stash It's Facebook page. I'm horrible with spec books. Like I mentioned, I'm not really good with spec books. Um, and I'll tell you that probably in a later video when I do an investing video. I just don't think about it, because for me personally, it's first and foremost stories and characters and artwork. That's what I go for first. I don't necessarily try to look for the next big thing. If somehow I get a book and it becomes the next big thing, that's just, another dime in the piggy bank. It's very cool to have and everything, but I don't really focus too much on that. Um, the other day, it was Sunday, I was grilling some chicken on the old grill out there. Like I said, boneless chicken thighs, man. Marinated for 3 hours. Woo! They was good. And I was listening to the Near Mint 9.2 crew talking about variant books. And I don't have, I always say I don't have very many variants, but quite honestly, if I went through the boxes and pulled them all out, I got a pretty good amount. I might have like 50 or 60. I don't know if they're really worth anything. A lot of these variants come from the Fantastic Four, which, I try to get the whole run of those variants. You know what I mean? I try to get that. And they're pretty cool variants. Um, Art Adams, got some Art Adams. I got some the Thing variants. I got a Wolverine variant on a Future Foundation FF book, which was really cool. I got this one variant. I think Seeking showed this in one of his videos. It was a Skeletor book that was really freaking cool. And if I get tagged, I'll look at the video. And if I get tagged, I'll make a tag video with some of my favorite variants on there. But I like looking at variants, but I don't buy them because I'm kind of cheap like that. But I do like watching channels that do variants. And Doom 143, Seeking Near Mint Comics. My old brother Ben, aka Mr. Fix and Smash, he was huge into variants. Who else is into variants? There's a lot of variant. I mean, everyone collects variants, especially if it's your favorite character, you're gonna want to get the variant. What else in the comic book community we got? We got people that collect variants. Oh, William Thorg, hands down. I'm not even going to mention anyone else. He has over 1,000 issue number ones, hands down. He's in a class by himself. I'm not going to talk anymore about that. Mercenaut, yeah, Mercenaut has some good videos. See, there's so many YouTubers I am forgetting, and I'm subscribed to a ton of YouTubers as well. But yeah, that's the thing. Archangel, Four-Way Flashers, he's got some good books, man. Did very the variants. Seeking Near Men, Alex, and Doom are your variant guys. You're right. Alex always does have a lot of variants as well. And Alex will post a lot of these variants on the Blaster Stash It Facebook page, which is good. Brandon lets me know. Aim High lets me know about a lot of variants. Trinity sometimes lets me know about a lot of variants. Miss Hustle! What is up, Miss Hustle? It's good to see you in the chat. No, I think old Brian Spaceboy's talked to me about some variants before. Yeah, variants are pretty awesome. They don't get very many, but if it is artwork I like, if it's a series I like, New Superman, Kong Keenan, I always get his second cover. Love it. Don't get many of the Green Lantern second covers or anything unless they're key issue covers. I'm still looking, I think, for issue 25 of Green Lantern Volume 4. I call it Volume 4. Some may call it Volume 3, but I consider the Golden Age Volume 1, the Alan Scott Silver Age after Showcase 22, 23, 24. I call that Volume 2. Volume 3 had the white in his hair. Don't really care much for that. Volume 4, the Jeff Johns run, issue 25. I want to get the cover B of that one. That is the Larfleeze cover. I actually want to get a 9/8 of that one of these days, but we'll have to see. Don, the icon, comic junkie. Like I said, Don used to host a late night live show, and it was one of the best, man, because everyone was in there hanging out, chilling, chatting with Don. Who Dat says we got to do an off air because him and Evan haven't done an off air in a while. But anyway, I guess that's about all I want to say. I'm running out of my shout outs to give tonight. But I do like watching a lot of different comic book channels in the comic book community. And what makes the comic book community so great is I always say this, and it may sound like a cliche or people get tired of how I throw some biblical in, but God didn't create cookie cutters. If we did, all we would show would be the same book. We would just show this book over and over again and talk about it. But having having a diversity in comics, having a diverse comic book collection, having a diverse comic book community. No matter what you do, wherever you go, whatever you see, whatever you listen to, you're always going to see something different. You're always going to see stuff you don't have. And the main thing is, enjoy what you see. Let it be an idea. Listen to someone like Who Dat say, "Yeah, Rob, this Injustice book, if you like the game, you'll love the book." Listen to some of the ideas. I mean, if someone says go jump off a cliff, don't go jump off the cliff. But I mean, if someone says, "Hey, the book's pretty good, give it a shot," get it from your local library or read it digital where you don't have to pay as much. There's a lot of apps. Some libraries have Comics Plus Library Edition. I read a lot of Dark Shadows books on that. There's a lot of different ways where you can read comic books. Golden Car says if everyone liked the same thing, life would get boring quick. And that's right, man. Amen to that. That's the thing. Enjoy a lot of cool stuff that a lot of different people will have and show, and let it give you ideas on what you want to collect, especially for some of you new collectors. I always tell new collectors, and I know a lot of us have said this before, and Hippie's been saying it for 6 years, as long as I've been here on my 6 years. He says, collect what you like, love what you collect. Um, but it kind of goes beyond that. You slow it down and really listen to it. It's like interpreting the Bible or a Bible verse. Not saying Hippie looks like Moses or something, although he's got a long hair and a white beard. Don't hurt me, bro. But anyway, um, like the characters you grew up with, or like the characters you watch in the movie, or like the toys that come out. Like some of the He-Man comics are really good. Like that Doctor Who, like the Prince, Kyle Walker, man. You know what I'm saying? And then like start researching books that you're interested in, books you want to. I start out in comic book collecting, books you want to read, books you enjoy the art for, and when you smarten up a little bit, watch some of these veterans, these people in the chat that have been collecting comics for a long ass time. They was little kids. watch them and get some ideas on some of the stuff you want to collect long term, whether that be runs, like Fantastic Four or X-Men run, whether that be some sweet like hardcover books, and I know I'm showing this 1,000 times, or like the Dick Tracy hardcovers, or Carl Barks, Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge, or Don Rosa Uncle Scrooge hardcovers, or Chester Gould's Dick Tracy. If you want runs or hardcovers or raw floppies or CGC, CBS, PGX, big boy graded slabs, or just books that are modern books that are going to gain in popularity over time and gain value over time. Like I said, I think all comic books will gain over time, because I think one day, we're already in a digital world right now, and one day there's not going to be much like physical books to read anymore, because it will all be digital. That's where the world's going, whether you like it or not. Some may fight me on that and say, hey, comics is going to be around forever. Well, when that one guy rules over freaking Israel over there, saying he's the Messiah, he may have everyone burn books and say you can only read this. So he may have some kind of that action going on. So a lot of different things in the comic book, a lot of in the comic book stores you can collect, and as well as a lot of different people that you subscribe to and watch in the comic book community. Because, like I said, God didn't create cookie cutters. The comic book community is a well diverse community. Diversity in the comic book community, yes, and it's awesome. So I hope y'all got a little bit of message from this tonight, here on the Legend Show, Great Legend Show, talking about diversity in comic books. You know, you always hear the old hippies collectibles say, collect what you like, love what you collect. I like that line. I was telling Seeking Air meant that one. I like that line, but I prefer, my closing, and that's a peace out and God bless. You know what I'm saying? I like that one a lot better. But I love all y'all. Y'all are some good people, and I appreciate y'all watching tonight. This was a great little show tonight. I had a peak concurrent viewership of 32 people. And the comic book community is only getting bigger. It's only getting better. It's getting more diverse. People are coming together. They doing all that stuff. And that's what it's all about, to know each other's likes, dislikes. But again, let me say this. For me personally, and this is just my opinion, and you'll know if I comment on your video. I'm subscribed to many people. Okay? Let me see if I can look at this real quick. I don't know if it'll show me all the people I'm subscribed to. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna see if it gives me a number. Well, okay, that's not too bad. I'm actually subscribed to 320 people. And one of these days I may do a shout out video to all 320 of these people. I didn't know they had it all in alphabetical order now. That's pretty cool. So I'm subscribed to 320. So very cool. So yeah, whatever. All right, so what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, but the most fun I have in watching videos, or I like to watch videos where I learn something, usually historic significance. I also like you know, topic videos. Frost from All About Comics has some great topic videos. So does JLS. Um, Long Box, Lords of the Long Box. All of the live group shows have some great topic videos. And I hope this was a good topic video for you. So, what I want you to do, as your homework, is look at all your people you're subscribed to, and look at this comic book community. It's a diverse community, but watch the stuff that you like to watch and love the stuff that you love. Wait. Select what you like. Okay. Watch what you like. Love what you watch. All right. Total rip off, I know. But do that, and then watch your favorite stuff, and then, you know, Warzone Spider come out with a video the other day that caught my eye. and it was the day after I think I did my Holy Grail video, and he got his Holy Grail, which was Daredevil #1. So I was like, awesome. So I got to find out this man's passion for Daredevil, and I got to congratulate this man because he got his Holy Grail. And it may take a long time to get your Holy Grail, but if you have the patience and you have the desire and you have the belief in yourself that one day you will own that book, and if you keep your eyes on the prize, you know, like I said, don't worry about what other people are buying. Don't worry about is Brandon still here? Don't worry about these guys slapping some Del Auto on it, or I don't. I'm right now as far as the medicine goes, but don't worry about what other people are buying and everything. I find it in the comic book community that a lot of times we get kind of stuck in what other people are buying, and what you need to do, like I said though, it can be great ideas. Not necessarily what are other people buying, but like kind of reviews and things like that. But look at those long-term goals you have, and you know if you can snag, you know, don't worry if this person gets a hot sweet ass variant. Um, but look at your situation. If you can snag that hot sweet ass variant, you better snag the hot sweet ass variant. They don't make a lot of those, so that's one thing. That, and I found that out. Mass Marvel, I got to give him some love because he said, "Hop on this book, Rob. This is the one you've been looking for." Sometimes you have a very small window of think time where you do need to jump on to that, and it's like you know a penitent man will pass, crossing over the invisible bridge. You know, you may be scared to cross that bridge, you know, but when you do and when you get that book and that book is one of your Holy Grail books, you're going to be a lot happier that you took the plunge, that you took the risk, that you got the book that you wanted in the long run. So definitely do believe that as well. But remember, just keep your eyes on the prize. I told Mr. Gretzky this. He was interested in buying something big and things like that, and Reaper Tate's giving me this information as well because talk to your friends. You get you let them coach you. You want them to be there for their love, their support. They'll give you some coaching, and just keep that in mind that you can be patient in these big purchases. So, and like SM Seeking Nearment said, do your research on some of these books. Do that. Evan, Captain Cold, Chaz, I learned so much from these guys. Check that GPA analysis. Make sure you're getting a good deal on the books. And your friends, if they have the GPA, they'll look it up for you. They ain't gonna steer you in the wrong direction. You got to have a little bit of faith in your friends, and all of that kind of stuff. Having the patience, having the faith in your friends, keeping your eyes on the prize. You um, Not worrying about what these other people are doing behind you, what kind of stuff they're getting into. If you take all of these little things, verily I say unto you, and I could totally turn this into something biblical, but I won't. If you do all of those things, you're going to be a happier person for doing those things. And remember, it ain't a competition in this comic book community. It's not about who has more books, and one guy may have, 50,000 books like Don the Icon, and then one guy may just have 1,000 issue #1s like William Thorpe. Totally two different people, by the way. You can't really even put those two guys like that. Would be an interesting combo though, like have both of those guys eat lunch together. Wow. That'd be freaking weird. But it would be money. People would pay to see those dudes talk about whatever. One guy talking about Hansi, one guy talking about the Mandela effect and theories, and wow, that would be trippy. All right, y'all. But I guess that's about all I got to say tonight. Again, I want to thank everyone for being here. I know I'm talking a little bit too long, and SS, you wanted to hear some of that. I could have easily turned that into a little special message, but I got to save those for those Friday night shows, which Let me look at the schedule. This Friday is not a Legends Truth. This Saturday is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this isn't an auction Saturday. This isn't a Legends Truth Friday. So maybe Wednesday or Thursday, if Vincenzo C's still watching, we're going to go back on the 7 Seas and play some Sid Meier's Pirates. And this time, I will take that Montalban guy, and I'm going to get my family back. And I'm putting it back on easy mode so I can win the game. And again, a lot of love to each and every one of you in the chat room. I hope I filled all y'all up with some shout outs. Murphinator is here. Always, Murph had a video not too long ago. I don't know if I caught it, but it was a new freaking video, and he's right in the top of my sub list because his name starts with an A. Are you kidding me? Murph! You only subscribed to Ibby's Collectibles 6 days ago? Damn it, Hippie needs to make more videos. Oh yeah, it was the 100 subscriber contest for Comic Holics channel, which Murph asked me about. I subscribed to Comic Holics. Huh. Subscribe to this guy? No, I'm not. Well, I'm subscribed to Comicaholics, Murph. So, Murph, Comicaholics owes you one. So, we'll check on this Comicaholics and see what these folks is all about. It looks like a husband-wife combo, a little flirtatious combo. I see them sitting on the couch. One guy's looking one way, one girl's looking the other. They're showing one book, she's showing the other book. That's kind of cool. I like the husband-wife combos. So definitely check out Comicaholics, and I'll try to start watching those folks. They look like some good folks out here in the comic community. Like I said, I'm not subscribed to everybody because a lot of times I don't have the time to watch everyone here in the comic book community. But have no fear because wow, you got some nice Wolverines on the wall. Up there's that Fantastic Four 600 modeled after that Ramita Senior, I believe. I'm looking up. There's McFarlane. No, or is that Larson? I think that's Larson holding the skull. Hulk 377. Up the Lego variant with Wolverine and the Grey Hulk. Super Friends. Is that Super Friends #1? All right, I'm watching Murphinator. I've got Murphinator paused, so I think I'm going to watch Murphinator right now. So I better let you guys go. I got a Murphinator video to catch up on. God bless each and every one of you for sticking around. I love you. Be good, man, and just take care of each other and think positive in the comic book community. And collect all the stuff you want and get all the stuff you want and collect stuff that makes you happy. I'm going to say it again, man. I wish I would have put an Amazon link or a mycomicshop.com link. I will do a whole Injustice video one of these days, and I'll put some links in the video description where you can go to the website and order these Injustice hardcovers. They're so freaking cool, man. I really dig them. They're good books. This is Ground Zero, story of Harley Quinn through the Injustice video games. All of that, and I don't even remember what I'm talking about anymore. But anyway, y'all are awesome for watching me. And I just want to say, um, if we do any more videos this week, it's most likely going to be sailing the 7 seas on Sid Meier's Pirates. And then you probably won't see me till next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday when I actually get some more comics, some new comics to show you in the mail. Because I only spend about $30 a month now. So it's pretty good. I actually need to do a video about that. I always see Cat Wren talk about Cat Wren's pull list. And of course, I'm so jealous of Cat Wren, and I know I shouldn't be jealous. I'm just having fun with Cat Wren. Cat Wren collecting 100 new books each month, 100 back issues, 100 little action figures, and not one of her action figures look like me. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, no, man, I'm saving some good money. Because I'm just like reading books online now. I know. Fahrenheit 451, man. Damn it. What am I going to do? But anyway, sorry I've been rambling too long. This is the Great Legend saying peace out. God bless.